it has been hit. The stream button has been
Right.
hit, which
We're
means that
back.
yes, we are. Um, right. It was a little bit of a shit show yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah. Um, yeah, it was. I mean, I guess Fast API, if you're for those who don't remember or suffered through the lack of audio for the first half,
Yeah.
we kind of have gotten to the point in our Art Nouveau project where we want to choose our backend, and we both agreed we would do it with Python. So we're trying out some different frameworks, and we started with Fast API. And yeah, I mean, if you want to have an API that's just one page that you can ping and that returns hello world, seems great.
Then that was great. Then it was great. Right. Right. For that
Um,
purpose, it was awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you are used to the very pleasant development experience of using like Rails as an API,
Mm.
then the kind of apparent lack of standards or structure for projects and sort of where to put your routers, your models, your ORMs,
Mm.
um, it was painful. But I mean, that's what did we do? We spent like 2 hours on it. That's the impression I have after 2 hours. The docs were a bit uh, loose, and the scaffolders were all 2 years old, and
Mm.
none of them really got us where we wanted to be. We did learn a few nice things about Python and some less nice things that I didn't find particularly intuitive, but at least we learned something.
Mm.
So, of course, I think it was a worthwhile experience. I would very much argue that we spent today's stream dipping our toes in the RESTful framework for Django, a
Mm.
framework within a framework. It's
Mm.
like the Bene Gesserit in Dune,
Mm.
plans within plans within plans.
I
Uh,
can tell you that I feel uh, disencouraged by the whole experience. Unfortunately, yeah. So it wasn't a good. It was. I mean, look, it's a web application framework, right? So you have your stuff. You can receive uh, requests. The four standard type of HTTP requests, and you respond with some stuff. And in that regard, it wasn't bad in any way. But I don't know if this is a good comparison, but I would compare this fast API with Express.js for if
mm,
we talk about Node, and also like Sinatra framework if we talk about the rack-based Ruby uh, frameworks, or whatever libraries, or whatever you want to call it. I like structure. I was talking to Lucia and Marco in Italy yesterday evening, and we discussed this, and I think that even though I'm a freedom-loving person, I very much enjoy when there is structure, like in Rails there is this Rails way, and there are some best practices in many ecosystems or domains or languages, and so and I found it really way too loose. That's one thing, but also what you mentioned, it's like it, you know documentation is extremely important, and I found the lack of documentation and lack of really good step-by-step explanations to how to do things really annoying. So I have high hopes. Well, I get into this stream with fresh new eyes, and I think that the Django REST framework can be a good candidate. We'll see
yeah.
after. You know how I am. I like rapid application development. I need to get from point A to point B as fast as possible, but I
Hmm.
also want us to be able to test. And in this case, request specs are important. of course, right? And which we actually we achieved that yesterday, right? We did
Yeah,
made
that's
a
true.
request and we got a hello world message back. So, but as you say, it doesn't cut it, neither for you or for me, I think.
Yeah,
Uh, so
it's
yeah, that
many ways to skin a cat in programming, but I don't think we would save any time developing our backend and fast API just because of the curve. So, ooh, I like what I see there. Yeah,
yeah.
let's go.
Let's let's rock and roll on this one
Let's
then,
rock and roll.
right? Right. So Django REST framework, as you said, Max, it seems to be I need to fix my camera a little bit here. All right, let's see. Am I still in? Where am I? Oh, here I am. Right.
Yes.
A framework within a framework. Um, um, there are some examples and there's some stuff, but I think we need to make a few decisions. We have this repository uh, on GitHub that we call the Art
Mhm.
Nouveau API, right? So should we get rid of it, start anew, uh, overwrite stuff? Do you want to do some cleaning or something? I mean,
Yeah, I'm just gonna rename it so that we have it somewhere instead of just deleting it.
okay,
But I think you can go ahead and delete it locally. I mean, that's
yeah. If I ever
um,
need it, I'll fork it down again or clone it down
yeah,
again.
yeah. So I'll just go over to GitHub and do
Yeah,
that.
I'm gonna switch over
Uh,
to your screen if that's possible.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Looking good. So let me make that a bit bigger. Uh, Here, Art Nouveau API. So I'm just gonna change the repo name, and I'll call it Art Nouveau. I shouldn't even call it Art Nouveau because that's not really what it does, you know. I'll call it Fast API with test,
yeah,
and that way, and I probably is it. Well, I'll call it this.
yeah.
So that is done, and that's great. Now, what I also want to do is I want to close this issue because we don't care about this.
Well, hold on. Why not?
Well, this is well, we do care about it, but not in this repo.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure, of
Because
course,
this
right.
this
No,
issue
yeah,
is
of
repo
course.
specific, right?
Sorry, I
I mean,
thought
I'll
you were
I'll
in
I'll
the
copy
yeah,
the user story
yeah.
and and I can instantiate a new repository, and I will call this Art Nouveau. I should get a API, and hopefully maybe that's too ambitious, but let's do that. And
Yeah, we're probably gonna have
uh,
to clean up our own forks of the previous one, right? Because will still be pointing to right. Both you and I forked it on GitHub, didn't we?
yeah, I was gonna delete my fork.
Yeah, yeah.
um, so let me do that.
We have UT61 with us. How you
Yo
doing,
yo.
brother? Keep us surprised and updated on your progress in terms of your studies. If you have you gotten away to the uni yet? I'm I'm curious always. Um, you remember this guy? He's an all-time follower from us. He was based in Russia.
Yeah.
He's about to study abroad. Right. Let's see if we get any updates. Right. Where's mine? Mine is here.
All right. And since I'm just going ahead and forking this Art Nouveau API, and I will do a little rm-rf on Art Nouveau API here. And I will now do a little git clone There we go for the new one. And if I cd into that, I can always do a little git remote -v, and there is the origin. I also want, of course, the upstream. So I'll go ahead and grab that and do a git remote add upstream. And since I'm here, I'll go into insights and see if Thomas has already forked it.
Not yet.
Not yet. So I'll wait a minute to git remote add Thomas. Now well, no, we'll get there when we get there. I've solved my OpenSSL problem.
Oh, you did. What
Mm.
was the problem? I
Well,
mean,
it was just a matter really of installing that newer version of Python, and all of a sudden all the problems just disappeared. So
faded away.
so if anyone is miserly like me and refuses to update from 10.14 on OS X, there is still a way. Just grab the latest Python and you'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was able to install Django and Django Open whatever it's called, Django REST Framework. But Python developers, they like to run virtual environments,
Yeah,
and I think we should do that.
I saw that in one of the walkthroughs. So yeah.
Yeah. It's not. It was. I spun it
But
up very quickly last night. It's not.
what do they mean by virtual environments then? Could you do?
Well, you. What do they mean? Yeah, I mean, I understand it as a way to basically make sure that you're only using the dependencies that you claim to use.
In that particular project?
Exactly. So like once you spin up your virtual environment, you do pip install Django, you do pip install the framework, and they have a few dependencies as well. But the point is that like your terminal, when you've sourced that virtual environment, can only look there,
Yeah.
and so that's the jam. Now then it becomes a question of like, how do we track that in version control?
You
And it
don't.
looks.
I don't think you do track that.
I don't think you do either. Some people will run a special command that spits out a txt file called
Yeah.
requirements.txt,
Yeah.
and they include that in version
Yeah.
control. And maybe that's like I don't know enough about Python development to be like, that's the standard, but I'm getting the sense that that is a standard that people use.
So from what I understand, but I might be wrong. So the two things here: the requirements txt seem to be like the gem set in or
Yeah.
sorry, gem file. Sorry, gem file
Jump on that.
in Rails, and the virtual requirement is like gem sets. I don't know if you ever use this, but what you like when you use a specific Ruby you can switch between Rubies in RVM. You can switch to a Ruby
Mm-hmm.
version, but you can also and
Mm-hmm.
it automatically create a gem set that is called main or global. But you can create a project specific gem set,
Mm-hmm.
and so you really isolate the dependencies that you want to use. And there is a way to add two hidden files into your project. You track them with version control. One called is .ruby, and the second one is called .gemset,
Yeah.
and and you just put the name of the gem set that you came up with yourself, and in the
Mm-hmm.
.ruby file you just put down the version of Ruby that you want to use, which means
Mm-hmm.
that every time somebody CDs into that particular folder, then
Mm-hmm.
they automatically switch to that Ruby and to that gem set, and when they bundle, they install the dependencies inside of that gem set. Right, so
That's.
that's from what I understand, what you were talking about and what I read earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what they mean with virtual environment. It sounds more of a posh name than gem sets, but because it sounds like a real virtual environment, but it's from what I understand, it's just a way to isolate the dependencies.
Yeah.
I think I'm
Yeah.
on the right track, but I'm not 100% sure. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I've used the .ruby file. We had a group of students with widely divergent installations of Ruby and a great hesitation to rely on RVM. And yeah, the
Mm.
.ruby sorted us out.
Right.
When you have a lot of people working on different machines on one project, which you always will in software development, nearly always, I guess. Um,
Right.
any way to avoid obstacles is any sort of gesture you can take is worthwhile.
Right. So if you just take a quick peek on my screen, I just issued this RVM gemset list command,
Mhm.
and I'm getting a warning about some path not being properly set up, which is really weird because I'm on Ruby 3.0. But you can see that I have a default gem set and I have a global
Mhm.
one and a one called WSO that for website one is a specific project, right?
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So I can now say
Oh,
RVM gem set use WSO for instance, and
nice.
now I still get the warning, so it's not a good example. But if I list again, you can see that I'm
Yeah,
using this one, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you can switch between them manually if you want, and it's an RVM function, right? Because so RVM is not only allowing you to isolate the different versions of the Ruby programming language, but also the dependencies that you're using. Right. So that would be that. So yeah, we should definitely use that when we work um,
Yeah,
with Django.
Django,
A quick
basically. Yeah.
update from our friend. He received his uni papers on Friday.
Oh yeah,
The uni is called VHB 20. That's it's in Ostrava. In Ostrava is in Czech Republic, right? Or is it in Slovakia? Ostrava. I don't know. Close to border to Poland. All right. Well, good luck. Hope you
nice.
get the visa and everything. You can get
It's
away and
awesome. Yeah.
study some.
uh,
Right. So I forked this.
yeah.
And I will just uh, clone this down to my computer as well. But we don't have to wait for that. How should we go about and get started? What? No,
Did
I
you just?
I thought. Uh, well, I thought I deleted it. RMR RF Art Nouveau API. Right. So I should be good. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm good. I thought I.
Mhm.
And this is gonna add the remotes. Yeah, but anyway, do you want to get started? Get cracking? I think I started
Yeah,
yesterday. So why don't
yeah, yeah,
you?
yeah. Let me get started and see if I can install all of this. I mean, I have installed it unfortunately, but we'll go through the motions again. So Django REST Framework. I'm heading here. I'm sort of starting here. I'm not going to go to Django um, because they basically have all the steps you need,
Mm-hmm.
right? Uh, the one thing, the one thing. Uh, let's see here uh, in the example. Let's see, they do all this stuff. Uh, mm, see, uh, they have a quick start tutorial section that I was kind of gonna just rush through. Um,
I read through parts of it off camera.
yeah,
It looks good to a certain point, but we need to start thinking about testing fairly on. So we need to inject.
yeah, and to that end, there is a nice section on testing, and there's something actually in in the docs. They have this API request factory, which is nice. Django has apparently a request factory class that gives you options to get, post, put, patch, delete, head, and options,
Yep.
which is exactly what we want. And if you look at some of the documentation on this, let me make this a bit bigger. You basically get stuff that we are that's going to look very familiar to us.
Mm-hmm.
Authentication, request client. So, this sort of, well, this is here we go. Here's an example where they're doing a create action, right? So they basically say they send off a post request, which takes a few arguments, the URL, the data itself, and the format argument. And then look at this, they assert equal the status code, they assert equal that you get an object back, they assert equal that the object has a name of dab apps, whatever that is. I mean, that's the example, right? So this will be nice. I don't see, did you read through this already? Did you see
Not the whole thing.
how you actually run these tests? We'll sort that out once we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so maybe what I'll do then is I won't mimic the tutorial, but I will run these kinds of things. I will run a virtual environment. I will activate it. I will pip install into the virtual environment, and I will run a Django admin start project command.
Yeah, I was a bit confused about this because so he says mkdir tutorial, and then he says Django admin start project tutorial and dot. Do you understand? So and from what and then he says cd tutorial again. So does he have tutorial in tutorial?
I can show you because I actually did go through this. Did I? Testing, is that what it's called? Yeah. So no, that's something else. Do I not have a tutorial here? Did I already delete this? Oh, it's in TMP. Yeah. Right. So if we take a look at, well, first of all, let me just do an ls. So this is what you get in the root. You have a little SQLite database, which is specifically created by Django for testing purposes, which is nice. That's kind of the lightweight built-in one. You have an environment, an env directory. You have your managed py, and then you have your project. So, should our .git directory live in there or not?
Yeah,
up for debate.
I don't know.
Because I don't know. Like the env basically just has. I mean, you can probably guess it's the version of Python, and it's going to have the library, which are the dependencies. Basically, there's the REST framework, some setup tools, SQL parse, blah blah blah. And
what? Yeah.
And so this is what we'll get. I mean, this is how they did it. Basically, they.
Yeah. I think what I would do if you go back to the docs. Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah.
What I would do, I would actually skip the I would say Django admin start project dot, and I will try that.
Yes. But
I don't think that there's anything wrong with having this SQL. Sorry about that. SQL database or anything, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. Perhaps we should just do what the tutorial says, because I'm worried that I call for some changes and then we fuck everything up. I don't know.
Let me try this. Well, so the issue is, I mean, it's not that big an issue to version control these N files because they're not going to change,
No.
But is it weird if we have env and then something called app, I don't know.
And neither do I actually, to be honest.
Because we need this manage py. Now, look, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. And if somebody tells us to do it otherwise, we will change it. So let me close this. I'm in Art Nouveau API, and I'm gonna say Python, and I don't need to say Python 3 because I'm using PyEnv, so this will be Python 3. And I will create a virtual environment, and I will save it in a directory called env. And that took a long time because it's, okay, way more. So what will I do? I will touch a .gitignore because I do not want 1,357 files to bother me. And I will go to gitignore.io, which takes me to toptal.com, and I will look at Django. And I will also look at via env, and I will copy all of this, and this is still the tutorial. So let me open up this in my code editor and hop in here and paste all of this in here. Let's go back to our terminal. Hey, look, get status. The only thing is git ignore. So now I'm happy. I feel good about this.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And now comes the argument of like, should we get that requirements txt? But let's not worry about it quite yet. Instead, let's close that and have a look at this. Right now, I want to activate it. So I want to say source env bin activate, and you see now I have a little heads up that I am in this environment. So the environment.
Nice.
The environment I have is all nice and like untouched snow. So we need to give it Django.
And we have a new follower. Thank you very much for the follow.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Right, and it's giving me this warning about pip. I do not care. On my global, it's interesting. On my global, I am in 22.2.2. So I'm guessing the version of Python that I'm running defaults to 22.0.4, and in this virtual environment, we're going to defaults, I assume. But assumption is the mother of all, mistakes. But we also need pip install Django REST Framework. And oh, look at this. It used a cached one on my computer, I guess. So that's nice. Successfully installed. So I'm happy about that. And, if I do a git status now, right, of course, nothing has changed. And that's, I guess, the argument for using this requirements like txt. But before we do that, let's actually have some fun and do Django admin start project. No autocomplete on that. And I'll just call it app. Are you okay with app?
I am okay with that.
Right.
Why,
so
why
now,
did you skip the dot now?
Yeah, I did not use the dot.
But why? That's the thing. Why did he has? And he also says no to trailing dot. Why would he say that?
Well, I can just undo what I just did. I mean, if I do a remove -rf app, like we're basically where we were.
Okay. So try with app dot. See if there's any. Yeah. And then we just try with. No, if we try with dot, it won't be able to undo it then. Okay. So have you committed?
No. But let's see what happens.
Okay.
See, I think this is the same thing. I mean.
Yeah. So why would he say that?
Oh, wait a minute. The manage py ends up in the root folder. This, if I don't use the dot, it looks like manage py gets stuck inside of app. And I think it needs to be here in order to grab the code that lives in.
Let's keep it that way then. Let's keep it.
It's a theory. I think this is fine. And I'm curious now. we got this nice app. We have, oh, but this, no, this is good. Is this good? It looks like we're missing some stuff. But this we want, yeah, of course. But I remember I'm going to go ahead and open up the actual
Perhaps it
tutorial.
came later. Perhaps it did some other scaffolding.
Because in the tutorial, look, like first of all, they call it tutorial and then they call it quick start inside of tutorial. So let's go back to the instructions here. Right, like look, they start the project and then they start app. So start project, like basically if we think of, this must be how it is. If we think of, like, ignore this directory, this init and these settings and these URLs, which are the routes, right? They're like the first layer, if you will, like, and then the actual quick start here has models and serializers, and most importantly for us, tests. Right?
That makes me wonder even more. Why would you have three layers? Do you understand? Like in their naming, tutorial app or quick app or start app or whatever. But yeah, sure. Let's just follow the thingy.
There, yeah. So what I need to do in my terminal is cd into app, and here I need to issue this Django admin start app and call it something.
Yeah.
How annoying.
It is.
That's really annoying. What the heck do I call it?
Well, we already used app.
Yeah.
So I don't know. API. Call it API. Call it API.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just call it API. Start app API. Okay. And then they're like, hey, go back one layer and run this. Yeah, we're in our Art Nouveau API, which they call tutorial. And if we do a little find dot, of course, we get all this. If I go into app and I do a find dot, we get the same right, because they're not including the virtual environment stuff here. But most importantly is that we can now migrate, which will create a little database, and which I'm going to do. But I want to be here, right? Yeah. So if I do Python manage migrate, no autocomplete there. Okay, cool. This looks really familiar, but I like to see some green. So it's applying all migrations, admin, auth, content types, and sessions. All right. And if I do a little git status, manage py actually changed. No, I haven't committed this yet. Okay. So let's create a super user just like they do. So we'll do Python manage py, create super user, and we'll give them an email of admin.
While you're doing this, I'm just going to grab this cup of coffee, all right?
Of course.
And sit down and be right back.
We'll give them a username of admin, and this is going to ask me for a password. The password is password123, just because that's what they're using in the docs, and 123 again, and the password is too common. I don't care. We will change it, or we will forget, and we will get pawned. Hopefully not. Okay, so then in the tutorial, they go over how to create some serializers, but it really kind of looks like they're grabbing user and group from Django contrib auth models, which makes me wonder, are these like standard models that are built into Django? Probably. But what I would love to see, like I'd kind of want to create them myself, I guess. But all right, all right. We shouldn't reinvent the wheel if we don't need to. But what I would like to do is to spin this up by running this. And so let's just take it for a spin and see what happens. Run server, right? So we are running a little server, and it's on port 8000. So let's have a look at port 8000. Yay, the install worked successfully. Congratulations, you're seeing this debug is true, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, if memory serves, no, there's no docs. And I can't log in. Okay.
Yeah, a users from YouTube is letting us know that audio is working today. I'm really
Cool.
really sorry about yesterday. A user, a friend of ours, actually wrote to us. I don't know. It was like 1/3 into the stream that. Yeah,
Yeah, let's not count
yeah.
exactly what it was.
Oh, that's
Um,
Giovanni. Soul Devil 92 is Giovanni. Okay,
mm,
all right. Well, welcome, Giovanni. You're
Out to
gonna
you.
have to join us in these streams later. Wife is calling. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry.
All right. So while he's gone, I'm going to confuse him by actually importing these serializers because I want to see something more than just, oh, I did see that I did get this 404 requests. I think if I don't have views, basically, um, I can't. There's no place for me to log in. Because we've created a super user and because this is all kind of packaged into Django, as I understand it, we should actually be able to log in. But without any views, we can forget about that. So even though we are just building a RESTful framework, maybe during the development phase, we do want to be able to visualize the different requests and I'm not going to grab the group view set. I'm actually only going to grab user. Though group is very nice because already, we can use this group's users basically into different groups. Gosh, I can't speak. But the point is that, we are working with two groups, artists and developers, and some both. And this would allow us to do that quite easily because I think it's an array. Anyway, but first things first. So I actually need to go into the serializers, which should live in my API directory. So I should close this so I don't get confused. I'm in the Art Nouveau API. Let's unconfuse myself. I'm going to go into app. I'm going to go into API, and here I need to create a new file and call it serializers.py. And right, so I have my Copilot on, but it did not. Django.contrib. Oh, I have to do auth. .models import user. All right, screw it. Let's grab group as well. And from this REST framework, we want to import serializers, and we create a new class, user serializer.
But so hold on a second. So I understand. So the user and group is a predefined class in Django already, or what?
Yeah, I I don't know the answer to that. I asked the same question when you went to grab the coffee. I
Oh,
can't explain it any other way because look, models. Here you create your models, right?
yeah.
And however, the fact that in Django contrib auth models, like I don't know what contrib, why they would call it contrib, but these must be users
Predefined.
within the Django authentication system are represented by this model. So the point is that, we actually get a lot for free, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you can accept this for now,
Yeah, 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 sure, sure. Yeah.
and and it's the meta class anyway.
Yeah.
The point is, it's weird that my GitHub Copilot made this like a forpal. I want it to be an array. I guess it's called. Is it called list or array in Python? Do you know?
I don't.
All
Let's
right.
call it an array.
Yeah. And we want this. We want the group serializer. Thank you very much. Do we want URL and name? Yes, we do. So it grabs it. Okay, so this hyperlinked model serializer is worth reading on. It's a type of model serializer that uses hyperlinked relationships instead of primary key relationships. When we do associations in Rails, we
Yeah.
do often give a key.
Yeah.
And then Rails is smart enough to give us, lots of stuff for free on that basis.
Mm-hmm.
This hyperlinked relationship, I don't really know. I mean, I know what a hyperlink is because I grew up in the 90s, but like I don't know what they're referencing right
No.
here. So that's to be explored. But okay, so we've created these two things they call serializers, and we're gonna go for it. We're gonna create the views as well. You'll see why in a second, Thomas. And we need to do that in app API views, and okay, they have some stuff we don't have. Okay, I'm gonna speed this up and just copy this in because we are not doing anything too exciting here. So, of course, we don't call this tutorial.quickstart. We call it
App API.
app.api. And we went green. That's great. And these are the ones we just wrote, the user serializer and the group serializer. And so we're creating actual views, even though, we said we would do API only, but this is for our own sake. So it's not just an endpoint. We're going to have a little HTML object that we can look at.
Really?
And so, yeah, it's really cool. You'll see.
Okay.
So anyway, we have two of them. We have users and group view set. Okay. Now we need to wire up the API URLs. So then we go back a layer, hop into URLs, and here there's some instructions for us talking about URL patterns, blah, 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 blah. So there are probably some standards on how to write your URL patterns. But basically, we want to grab path, but also, what is it? Include. Not sure why, but we'll find out. And we need the routers from the REST framework and from API. Is it serialized? No, it's sorry. It's going to be app.api, the views that we just copied in. And then we need to instantiate a router, which takes, well, we're just using the default, I guess. And we need to register some things, little regex here, users, views, and the user view set. Okay, I guess we need to register the groups as well. That's what Copilot thinks anyway. And then we give this list of URL patterns, And right now it generated an admin slash.
Mm.
I'm going to leave that and see what it does. But I'm also going to say path, just the root. And for that, we include the router URLs. Interesting. Let's see what that does. And I'm going to include this API auth, which specifically includes the REST framework URLs and has a namespace of REST framework. Yeah, that's all good. So what this now means is that I'm not going to bother with pagination, but I do need to change our settings because they have a long list of installed apps, and we need to add, yes, you were there, the REST framework. Now, is my server still running? Yep, which means that if I go to localhost 8000,
Mm.
um, look, I land on this page. This is the view for
Can you make it bigger?
root. And
Make it bigger?
oh yeah, sorry, good call.
Oh, sorry.
So we get this, we get a login thing, we get options, and have options to grab get requests. But remember what we did here just now in our URLs. We said for the path, include the router URLs, and
Mm.
here we get users and groups, which tells me what happens if I say users. I get a users list, and I get an authentication credentials were not provided. So let's log in and say, hey, I'm admin at, what was it? Example.com.
Did we do that today?
I,
Yeah,
I, I
you
did
did
it.
it.
Well, I created the super user from the terminal.
Okay, okay, okay.
And the password was password123. Oh, shoot. But it's okay because I can look here what I actually wrote because I used their example. It was admin at example.com. So, well, that looked okay. Password123. Okay, it's annoying. Do I need to kill the server and spin it up again? API auth login. Yes. Okay. Did I just call it password? Do I need to create a new super user? Very annoying. Or did I forget a step of the tutorial?
But you did restart the server, right?
I did
Yeah.
just now, yeah. I did. Can do a force refresh on this. If I just do login here and I say admin at example.com, password123. Did I change it to password? No. Okay, well, let me just recreate the. Oh, do I need to migrate after I create the super user? This was working for me yesterday, so I don't think so. I think I just. I think I just messed up something. Maybe I misspelled password when I created the super user. Let's test that first. Then I will commit and pass this over, Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
So let me kill the server, clear this up. That username is already taken. Well, that's fine. So exit this. Can I do a Python manage py? Can I do list users? No, okay. Can I Python manage py change user password? I guess I should have written in Django. There we go. Change password admin. Okay, so I'll do Python manage py change password and then admin@example.com. Oh, is it just called admin? Is that why? Yep.
Okay.
Password 123. Password 123. Yeah, I want to override this. Okay. Password 1234. Password 1234. This is going to kill me. All right. Can I just oh, that is so annoying. When you actually run this create user command, Thomas, you can overwrite the password to common thing. Okay. I'll just say Craft Academy and Craft Academy. And that's great. And so now if I do Python manage py run server, the server is running. Let's go back to 8,000. Here we are. Oh, I can just click on these. There were links, of course. So let's log in and say admin@example.com and say Craft Academy with all small letters. Is this just admin? Because then I will eat my hat. Craft Academy. I'm gonna shoot myself. Anyway, that was really painful, but I learned something. I'm an idiot. Anyway, so now we are authenticated, right? You see the little admin. And we've done a GET request to users basically, and we get a 200. And look, by default, it has post enabled, but not delete. Nota bene.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and this view that Django generates because why? Because we created this, right? Allows us to edit users and also to create new ones. I can make a post request from this interface, and if I'm not mistaken, let's see, is there such a thing? No, that's for Fast API. So, and if I go into groups, you see I get an empty array, but I could just make a post request here. So I could say artist and post that, and there we go, and then developer and post that. But now I was hoping to see them. Oh, 201 created, like this is the response. So if I just do a GET request, here they are, 200, and fantastic. Anyway, I mean, that for me is like, this is nice, but I will commit this and you can maybe try to write an actual test, right?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if we can.
All right.
If we can get some testing done here.
-am, and I'll say scaffolds. Ooh, wait, I need a little ta-da. There we go. No, wait, that's the wrong one. Sorry. There we go. Little Gitmoji. Scaffolds. Django API. That's pretty much all it does, actually.
Yeah.
Git push origin. Oh, I didn't branch out. And
never mind. Just this is the first one. Just commit to this.
Should I push it to upstream then?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, we did that yesterday too. So let's not beat ourselves up too much, right? Sometimes rules are to be broken, folks. Right.
All right. So it's upstream.
It is. All right. Let's see if we can hit the sack and get this over.
Switch over to your screen. Oops. Don't mind me.
Oh. There we go. Right. So I'm just gonna do clear this. Git pull upstream development. No.
You got to fetch it first.
Okay, and then I just do this.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And the thing is, because we do not have the we do not have requirements txt. If I
Hmm.
try to spin this up, this should give me an error, right?
No, I think it will work.
So, and the spin up command is Python
It's Python space manage py run server in one word.
like
Yeah,
this.
like
All right,
that.
let's try that. Okay, so Python is not found, so I need to say Python 3, right?
You need to say Python 3. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So what does it say?
No module named Django. You see, this is the thing.
All right. That's interesting because do you have?
I never
Yeah.
installed Django, you know.
Oh, I see. I see. I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
So my thinking was I didn't realize that. My thinking was that it would run off your kind of global installation of Django.
Uh, so
Um,
so I want to, like, let's say requirements file. Let's take a look what the requirements file is and how we can use it. So a
yeah.
requirements file is a list of all the project dependencies. This includes dependencies needed to. This also contains a specific version. Okay, so
Pip freeze. That's the thing.
is it called what?
No, the command. If you scroll down, you'll see pip freeze is like a thing you can run. Um,
Ah, okay. So I can
so
do.
so maybe I should.
So why don't you do pip freeze, push up
Yeah,
again, and I will. Right. So let's switch
yeah.
over to you
So
again.
switch back. So
So
I'm right where I was,
you
right?
basically say pip freeze two requirements txt, right?
Is it a
Yeah,
pipe
yeah.
like
No, no,
that?
just one, just one.
Yeah. Re re requirements.txt. Let's see what happens. Okay, get status. And can I
Can you
just look
cat
at it?
it? Just do cat
Yeah.
requirements.
So
Yeah,
there's Django, there's the Frest, and these must be, you know,
yeah.
the. Okay, so let me just commit that then.
And push, and I will try to do pip
Actually,
install with r requirements txt, and we'll see
yeah,
what that does for us.
requirements txt with pip freeze. All right,
Right.
pushing to upstream. I'm going to push to myself as well.
Right,
All right,
so I
all
got the
yours.
requirements txt, so I will just do pip install r requirements txt, and we'll see what's up. And it
All
looks
right.
like we're installing the dependencies that we need to have. Right.
Yeah.
Not bad.
No está mal.
At least we learned some. Well, I get the deprecation. I need to fix that at some point, of course.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, yeah. We should set you up with Pi environment or something similar.
right. Yeah, yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
So now I want to do Python 3 manage by and run the server.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
it looks. Oh, I have 18
Oh,
unapplied
you need to
migrations, of
migrate.
course. Of course.
And that was just Python 3 manage py migrate, right?
Uh,
Think.
Python 3 manage
Yeah,
PI and just migrate.
just migrate. Yeah.
All right, let's do. Oh, Python.
Oh,
What would I say? Python 2? Am I like?
you're missing the good old days. I think the biggest difference between Python 2 and Python 3 is how you do print statements to the console.
Okay.
If memory serves.
So let's run the server again.
Yeah. Hey,
And
that looks very good.
you're right.
So head over to localhost 8000.
8,000. And for anyone who's watching, what we're doing is to, try to learn a little more about the Django REST framework, because we're gonna build an API, and it looks good.
It looks very good.
Right. So I can go to users, and that would not be. Yeah, I'm not logged in, right? So I need to log in, and the login was admin.
Admin@example.com. Oh yeah, it's just admin. Sorry, I'm joking.
Yes.
And the password was is Craft Academy, all small letters, one word.
Right. Let's
Oy,
let's
oy,
not.
oy. Yeah.
Oh, what? Craft Academy. Oh, no.
Does that
What?
use did I not track the user with my intense git ignore? That's not possible, is it?
No, you see, but the database isn't. Hold on a second now. What are we noobs or what? I mean, the database isn't version controlled,
It's not. Yeah.
of course.
So
Right.
there you go. So you have to create the user as well.
Yeah. And apparently my computer starts to act up. What is going down in the kitchen? People, what's going down? Let me just check my memory usage before, because things are getting a little bit out of control here. That's not the one. Where's my what? No, come on, give me a break. Where's my oh, there it is. Okay. Memory. Yeah, I have a lot of memory. But my look, this Django baby ate up 20 gigabyte of my of my storage space.
Whoa. No, come on, 20?
I think I
That's
was, oh, okay, okay, perhaps not 20, perhaps 15. I was on 20 before this morning at least. And now I am on 5. So
that's not great.
it is not. Anyways, what's the command to create a user?
It is Python 3 manage py,
Mhm.
and then oh, I of course went over to the it is create super user,
In one word?
one word, all small letters.
Oh shoot. Let's see.
Yeah, right. No autocomplete here.
Super user. Right?
And
And
then
then
dash dash new word dash dash email. You give the email.
Thomas at mail.com, whatever, and then password.
And then dash dash username.
Okay.
It's going to ask you to input a password interactively,
Uh,
username
Thomas.
Thomas,
Right.
and hit that.
Password.
And yeah, right there it is.
There we go. The password.
And yeah, but you can overwrite now.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah.
yes.
All right. So now we're just gonna start this thingy again.
Uh-huh.
Right. And so we're just gonna say Thomas. Oh shit. Right. Let's log in. There we go.
There we go. I'll make it a little bit bigger, just so we can
Yeah.
can
So this doesn't
see what it
matter.
says.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
good stuff.
Okay. So I can do a get. What is this?
I haven't really messed around too
Let's
much with
have a
that.
look. Oh, okay. So I can see the raw.
Ah, okay, that's nice.
Okay, JSON stuff. Right. Come on. Go back. Oh, damn, you're slow today. Right. Okay, so there are no groups, of course, on this Thomas at mail.com. That's me. And then let's see API. Let's see the second one. Let's see what that does for us. I think we froze on Twitch or something. Not 100%
Oh no.
sure. Just gonna get rid of that. I think you know that my computer from time to time, like 1 hour into a
Yeah,
stream, always gives up, which is like so damn weird. That anyways,
I do know. I mean, we're almost there. We just want
Yeah,
to write a test, you know?
right. Yeah, well, we just want to write a test. Let's see.
Yeah, right.
Right. Okay, we have it up and running. So let's focus on testing. We know that this works. So I can kill the server now and just see.
Yeah.
Right. So, we had this. We were on the quick start, right? No, were we on the
Yeah, but if you go into the API guide, there's a section on testing. I think that's where we should look. Because that's where yeah, exactly. They talk about this request factory. But
Right. So REST framework includes a few helper classes, extends Django's existing test framework, improves support for making APIs. Right. We have the request factory thing. We have a request factory class supports almost identical API to Django standard request factory. This means that the standard get, post, put are available. Right. So we want to request this thing. Right. 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 So in order to be able to understand this and
mhm,
execute tests and so on, I
yeah,
think we need to take a look at the original configuration for testing, and we are on right the request factory advanced testing topics. I don't want to go. I want to go to basic testing topics. You know,
yeah,
I just want to create one testing tools, testing in Django, testing tools. Let's do the test client. The test client is a Python class. Right. Simulate get post. Yeah. Okay. So this is good. C post, C client, but we're gonna import the other client, right? Or
yeah.
will we?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think looking at the examples here, it looks like the REST framework test has might have everything we need.
Apart from the very simple information on how to execute them, right?
Right. Well, I mean, I didn't read it that carefully, so I'm.
Right. Run tests in Django.
That's the way. That's the way. Yep.
That is the way.
Um, it's probably going to be like Python 3 manage py run tests or something, right?
Right. So the testing tutorial, writing tests, running tests,
Yeah.
manage PI test. So
Who
this is
crawled it? Who
interesting.
crawled it?
This is
Yeah.
interesting because perhaps I just want to test one thing. You see, what if I skip the Python 3?
Mm-hmm.
If I just say manage py run server, no, but if I do,
Dot slash. It should work because
oh no, look, he's tried to alias Python.
yeah, but that's in your environment. So that's actually. I mean, please don't change it because or
No,
yeah, we need to.
let's not play around with. We can do it later, but
Yeah.
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 Okay, so if I just say basically without having any tests yet, if I just say this,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, good, all right,
Hey.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now we can skip this and we can go back to this guy, and we're gonna go into absolutely not this. Let's close this. This is not what I
Mm-hmm.
want. This is the old stuff.
Yeah. The fast
Yeah. By the
API
way,
stuff.
there is this package called expects uh, that can allow us to write these kind of assertions,
Mm-hmm.
which is more in line with what at least I like. I don't know if you like this. But yeah, I'm not used to this way of writing assertions with assert response status equals this. I
Yeah.
love the expect thing. So
Mm-hmm.
we can always. Anyway, let's not dwell on that now. Could you close yourself? Right. Thank you. There we go. So let's just open up in code. And I also wonder if I. Right. Look how slow it is. What's up? Wow. Damn it. Damn it.
Yeah, well, you're. I just saw all the apps you have open. I mean, you're.
I mean, I don't have that many. Okay, okay. Okay, I'm gonna close this guy.
I mean, AI is a
Yeah.
is a bit of a hog.
But the memory usage wasn't that heavy, you know?
No, I know, I saw, but you're right. You're right. It's probably not that. There she goes.
All right.
Yeah.
Way too many tabs open. Way too many tabs open, says Jay the developer. Well, thank you. Yeah, right. It's not that many tabs. Come on. I paid a small fortune for this computer. This should no. Well,
Yeah, you think so, but
all right. Let's have a look at this. Let's I think Giovanni left us. I think Giovanni should join us in the stream. We should have another circle above you, you know, and we should.
yeah. Well, I mean, but Gio has a day job, Thomas.
45 tabs minimum, I would say, is what a computer should be
Oh
able
man,
to.
I get stressed when there's like, yeah. I used to be a very strict practitioner of inbox zero in
Inbox.
my,
Oh
in my
shit! Hey!
yeah, dude. Yeah, think
Hey,
about
dude!
that.
We're talking. Oh, it stopped counting. Well, I had like nine and a half or 10,000 emails. That's right. Anyway.
Ugh. Yeah, no, thank
But it's all the Viagra thing, you know. When you once you turn 50, you know they start to bombard you
you. Oh,
with
nice.
yeah. So you have a few years left before you get
Okay.
them. But,
All
yeah.
right, all right.
Let's see. App, and we have API, and we have tests. Create your tests here. Why would I create my tests here? Why don't I have a specific folder for tests? But never mind, right? So I want to do what? I want to import the REST framework, right? Import REST. Why don't I get framework?
There it is.
There it is.
Dot test, was it?
Test, right. From Oh, am I?
Oh no. Sorry,
I forgot where I am. Like,
yeah,
okay.
it's from it's from REST framework.test import API request factory.
No, not API client. It was
API request factory.
There we go.
Right. We will probably need force authenticate, but
right. Force authenticate. Why would he say that? You see what Copilot? Oh.
So yeah. So if you scroll down, forcing authentication, they say when testing directly using a request factory, it's often convenient to be able to directly authenticate the request rather than having to construct the correct authentication credentials. So to do that, they have this force authenticate method. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So I can import this, right? Right. Let's do that from force authenticate.
Yeah.
Let's try that.
Yeah.
And then we want to do the factories, and then we just do the request factory, and we get the user, but we don't have a user.
No, that's what I'm a little confused by, because if I'm reading their example, there should be no. If it's a .get and username Olivia, don't they have an Olivia in their database?
I don't know. I don't have Olivia in my database.
You sure don't.
Well, I can create a user. You see that? user create objects create
Yeah,
user, right? So I'm going to
that I
say,
like. That makes
yeah.
more sense to me.
So I'm going to say email, you know, can I do this? Equals, can I do this? Yeah, email
I think
random
I think
at random.com. Can I do that? And password test. Yeah, let's try this, right? I mean, the fuck,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And account detail. I don't, why would I go with account detail? I don't even know what that is. Accounts, Django superstars, forwarded request, user, response, view, request, view.
Do you have to generate a view to get
I
the
don't know.
response?
I
That
don't know.
seems unlikely.
That seems
Um,
unlikely. Let's just do a get request to slash users, right?
yeah,
Right. So I'm just gonna, yeah. So I'm just gonna do request equals factory get, but we don't use API, right? We just do users like this, right?
let's see here. It's factory.get.
Yeah, let's with
The URL, and then you can give it. Oh, now you're doing the request. Yeah.
should I say format JSON or anything like that? I don't know. So let's just, can we assert something?
Yeah, you can assert equal written, interestingly enough,
Force
in
authenticate request user. No.
no, no,
This,
no.
no. But factory. No, I don't. No, I need to force out. Let's. Oh gosh. Right. Learning new stuff is not easy, folks. Right. So request factory get account. Yeah. So you this, and then you do. That's the request, and then you force authenticate, and the response is, I don't know. Force authenticate request. Okay. So force. Yeah. Request user. Yeah. Exactly. I need to force authenticate. Right.
I think.
And now we are, and we want to view the request, and now we can assert. Now we have a response. Do you understand? But view is not view. No, view is not defined, so that's not.
Yeah, you'd have to
Right.
import the view.
But he created account detail. What the ever that is. Request. Right. Do you have a search as example? API test cases. Your test responses. Testing responses. Right. Response self. Well, response testing. Checking the response data. That's what we want to do, right? We want to check the response
Yeah.
data one way or another.
It's interesting that they're using this like self.client.post. It's not. Yeah, they're using something else called the API client instead of the API request factory.
Yeah. API, right. Because in the API, right, right. You know what? I'm just gonna check if there is an example of something written before. Do you understand? Like
Yeah, yeah.
Python test examples. Let's have a look. Yeah, whatever. Fuck off. Right. So view. So first of all, he defines this as a method, right? So test get, which is probably what we need to do too, right? Dev test test response. Why would he? Right. And I need to indent this test self. Okay, so we have a self query params for self. Why would self be? Why do I need to do self here? I think I need to do self, but to request self and this. Right, and now my computer just gave up. Motherfucker. Oh shit.
It is like that when we do something new, huh?
Yeah. So we have. I see somebody sent a link. Sorry, I don't open links. I burned my fingers on links in chat once. Not gonna do that. Type a text response you want. Text response. Type text. Text. Oh yeah. Of course. So thank you. Should be test. So there's yeah, it's a type. So there's there seems to be like a library that we can use to get rid of this test underscore in the beginning of each test.
Oh,
Like we
nice.
did yesterday, we want to do it or
It's
something.
expected to, yeah.
Yeah, so we can probably set that up at some point, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna see what we're gonna get if I run this now. What sort of errors? Right. Fail to import app API tests. Really? Uh, right. Interesting. So we don't even know where that error originates from. So we're just gonna comment out this stuff, and we still app API tests, Django test, test case, quest URL lib. Right, we're getting some heavy errors here, right? So let's just comment this out, run this again. Right, there are
Hmm.
no issues, right? So let's open up this one.
Oh, there's Factory Boy for Django.
Factory boy.
Yeah.
Cool. Uh, right, so let's.
And you can use it with Faker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. So let's create a factory. I'm just gonna open up one by one just to see if the errors start to appear. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. This should be a problem. User objects create. We probably need to import this guy somehow, right?
Yeah, we do.
Right.
Yeah.
So how the hell do I import a user? From models or where?
Hmm. Hmm.
Did they show?
No, it's the built-in one we're using. So you should grab it, have a look at where we import user on in views.py on line 2. We're grabbing it from Django contrib auth models. It's in one below where you are, below tests. You see there on line 2, it's
This one, right?
yeah. You probably don't need group, but well, at least not in this test.
Right, let's try that. Okay, so now this should of course work or not. Come on, mod. Okay.
Oh, it's chilling, huh? Oh,
Oh,
all
okay,
right.
okay.
At least
All right, so we're
everything's
good. So
compiled.
now we can open this one.
Yeah.
All right. Do I have a format for? Yeah. Okay, I have a format.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well.
I do not. Real.
Right, so let's open this. And now we get, right, error, API test input, failed to input test module API traceback. This is not a very good.
No. Auth user username.
Okay, so we have a unique constraint failing for us. So we're just gonna call it
So,
test two. Let's just try that and see.
okay. Well,
Well, okay, and now,
well,
but now I should get an error, right? Because when I run it again, right. So there's
haha.
no cleaning built in. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand. I'm sure that,
So what I would love to see is I want to see a before action and after action, right? So like,
mhm. So it looks like a lot of people write this with like
mm,
a setup function. Like
can,
they write these all as classes.
can I get this now? Look, hold on. I'm just gonna, if I just get rid of this and I run this now,
Hmm.
right? Because I already created it, right? So, but this is not the way to go. We need to be able to do before and after. But right now I'm just doing a get request. So I got this, but I yeah, but I don't get this run zero tests. Why would he run zero tests? I mean, there is a test, right? Okay, let's take a look at this again. No, Python example. Where is that Python example? Come on, that's not it. Uh, view, self view, self view class as view. I don't understand what this is. I don't understand this. Let's see if we can find another example. Do we have any Django experts in the audience, please? Please. Uh, let's have a
Annoyingly,
yeah. Yes,
doesn't
I
have.
didn't I already say yes. Set up self factory IPS record. Use a factory. But these examples are not full examples, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I need to see I need to see
an actual.
yeah, an actual test file. And since my computer is like really annoyingly bad um, at listening to me or doing whatever I wanted to do for now, right?
Huh. 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 Huh.
Test view.
Check this tutorial out, but has a few years on its neck. Um, but it has actual tests. If you.
Right, let me just pull it up. I think I'm gonna. You know what? I need. I think I need to commit and ping it over to you for a second to reboot uh, my MacBook or whatever.
Sure thing.
I think it's gonna be the most because it's starting to get a little right. So I'm just gonna do git check out a new branch uh, test setup, I guess, and just do git status, right, git add git ci VIP first spec attempt. Can you say that? Yeah.
Sure.
Push origin. Test setup. Right. So I pushed it up to my own. I think you can pull it down. You can check it out.
Yeah.
And
so
I'm gonna reboot, but I'll be around.
Okay, so here we are. We'll do a little git fetch on Thomas. Great, and we'll do a little git checkout -t for track, and we'll say Thomas test setup. All right, here we are, which means I should be able to run Python manage py test and see what happens. Right, we of course getting an error, but I'm just curious, can I run manage py test? Yes, I can, because I'm using A and B. Okay, that's cool. Let's have a look, right? So we are writing this test inside here. Okay, so right. Okay. Right. But you are authenticating after. Oh, because you need the request to authenticate it. Weird.
Yeah.
This reads weird to me. This is weird. Oh, because, right, this is just a factory. So it's manufacturing the request for us. It's adding the forced authentication, but then it's not sending it off, probably.
Yeah, because we have an undefined variable called view.
So in my, well, but I would even say, like, this is the request factory. The reason you don't see any examples of tests here, right, is because this is just storing some requests. It never sends them off. And that's when you need this API client that makes the actual requests. So it's almost as though, like, first we, whoa, that's weird. First we generate request, and then we send off request, and then we assert on the response. Oh my God, on the response. Because. So also, is this the same as, just to save some space, and API test case? No, I want, well, actually, API test case and test case, I think, is a wrapper.
We just got friendly advice from Twitch viewer that we should probably take a Udemy course. No, I'm kidding.
What's the fun in that when you can actually just break things?
Break shit. We need some scar tissue. We don't have enough scar tissue on our foreheads yet, so we need to. No, but it's a good. Thank you for the tip. It's not a bad thing.
Right. So I'm instantiating a client, and this, I believe, if I run the client.post, I'm actually making the request.
Yeah, but you want to use the factory request, right? So you want to pass.
Yeah. So, but so we haven't generated the actual request yet, but I'm going to move this up, like, here we instantiate the factory. Here we generate the request. The API client, I'm going to do a client, and I'm going to pass in the request as an argument, but I just wanted to see them actually combining the two. That's a little bit annoying.
But with build Gray with your that's the user on Twitch, with your expertise, you would probably jumpstart our API attempts, of course. So let us know if you want to join the stream at some point. That's perfectly fine. In the meantime, we will be banging our heads against the brick wall, right?
Well, let's. I'm gonna comment this out for a second because I want to
Perhaps
try this request client.
you know what? How about we just make a you know an authenticated request first, right? So we get something.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying here.
Yeah.
What's weird here? Well, we'll see. We'll see. From what is it again? REST framework. Import request client. That's all caps. Request client. Requests client. Right. Yep. And so we instantiate that client using request client or requests client, and then we wait for a response, and we just say client.get, and we say, oh, I don't love that.
/users.
Yeah, /users, or just try this, users. Is it going to hate me for that? I can try this. And then we assert, my gosh, we assert that the response has a status. Response has a, yeah, that was it. Response has a status code of 200. Do I have, well, I don't use these, but let's just run that. So you do not have test module app API tests. Did I?
Now the error message is further down. Let's see. File uses the
Cannot import name requests. Did I spell it wrong?
framework.test. So on line 6 you say dot.
Thank you. There we go. Let's go
The error
back
messages
here.
suck big time. This is not a good error message.
No. We're getting a different one now. And it's yelling about improperly configured. Requests must be installed in order. Okay, so we don't have requests. So what I can do is
pip install requests.
My gosh, install requests. All right, so that's done. That's fine. So let's now run the tests again. And right, so now it doesn't like this URL that we've done. It's
okay,
missing
so do
HTTP.
localhost 8000 then.
Yeah. Feels a bit clunky. It's interesting that these are.
Yeah, because you don't use
it's unreachable. Yeah. Localhost 8000. Let's run that. Invalid URL because I'm not running a server. Is that it?
I don't know. If that's the case, then this. I mean, come on. Oh God.
Let's just say /manage py run server. My gosh. Why are you not running? Do I need to migrate? REST framework, but REST framework, is that not what we're using? REST
It is.
framework.
We might get some tips from Bill the Gray.
Yeah, yeah, hit us.
Hit us. Whatever you
Uh,
have.
is it because I'm writing it as a module import instead of as a request client? From REST serializers. From REST framework test import request client. Let me look at the docs again. From REST framework. Yeah. Dot test.
Why don't you just say test server instead of users? Instead of the.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Okay.
Let me kill the server. Let me just see if I can run it. No. But what happens if I just run the test like this? No. Oh, wait. This is different. We're getting an assertion error.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah, it ran the test. It actually worked.
Yeah. And what's the
But
assertive?
this is horrible. Uh,
Yeah.
First of all, it can't grab.
Well, that doesn't mean shit. That
Yeah,
that
I
that
guess not.
that is the like that.
Hmm. Assertion of it, but I don't know if it like. Because here I'm still getting this unreachable.
But that could be anything.
Yeah, Highlands. All right.
Wrap it in a function, like like wrap it in def test, underscore something.
Yeah, okay. Def test main, um, and we'll keep that, and we will try that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it liked that,
Found
but it
zero
ran zero
tests. No,
tests.
zero. I didn't like. Well, why would
Well, I
it?
mean, it's found zero tests. Uh, you know what? Maybe we should, since we're using tests in Django, maybe we need to just write a unit test first using the Django docs. What do you think about that?
Uh, yeah,
Eat the elephant bit by bit.
yeah.
Da, da, da.
Oh
Tests.
shit! I think you know what? I think we're gonna take a break, and I am
Mm-hmm.
open to stream again today because I want to
Mm-hmm.
solve this. I want to make progress, but I'm getting a little bit mushy in my head.
Yeah, we've been at it for a while. Um,
I'm yeah. I think that if we give it a rest for like a half an hour, 45, and we
yeah,
can come back to it.
that sounds good.
Yeah,
That sounds
I really
good.
don't mind doing another stream today. I'm all good.
I think it has to be inside a class.
It has to be inside a class,
Yeah,
but don't you have to instantiate the class later? I mean, perhaps. I
beats
don't know.
me. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, let's take a break. Let's take a break
Yeah,
and we'll see.
there are a few uh, there are a few blog posts that we can do. You know, Bill the Great, thank you very much for the follow, and of course you're more than welcome if you need to hit the sack. Definitely do that. I take it you're like what, in the U.S. somewhere. Um,
Well,
um,
then it would be very early indeed. No, very yeah.
yeah. Well,
Anyway,
or Hawaii. Oh, Hawaii. Oh, we have a good friend from Hawaii, don't we?
we sure do.
Yeah. So aloha. Yeah, that's what you say, right? I never been
Yeah.
to Hawaii myself. We're in Sweden, um, miles apart, uh, but still in Sweden, both of us. Um, have you been to Hawaii, Max?
I never have. Never have. No, I'd
No.
love to go.
But Dorian, he grew up in Hawaii, didn't he?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
lived there for many years.
Oh,
I
that's
think he grew
awesome.
up on a boat
He
that
grew up
went
on a
all
boat.
over the world, but he spent a lot of years in Hawaii.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, right. I just found this blog post. I'm going to switch over to me for just for a sec.
Hmm.
Uh, how to test DRF. DRF is the abbreviation for Django REST Network APIs. And I'm going to be honest. I only started writing tests 3 months ago. That's a beginner thing. Good. Uh, so we're gonna take a look at that, I guess. Right. There's a lot of yada yada, but we can probably find some good
Yeah.
stuff. Skiing. So we have a Hawaiian. Do you say that person that loves to ski? Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. That's
Oh, there's some mountains on Hawaii.
yeah. I used to ski Aspen, Colorado. Uh, that's
Oh
where I
yeah.
ski. And when I came back to Sweden, just a short story. When I think I told you this, Max, at some point. So I actually learned to ski in the United States in Aspen, and then I
Wow.
came back to Sweden,
Yeah.
and we went up to Åre,
Hmm.
and I was, and everybody was so excited, the best skiing in Scandinavia, and I was like, what the hell is this? It was cold as f. It was getting dark very early on the day in the day, uh,
Hmm.
and it was just shitty. It wasn't good at
And I
all.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see, and yeah,
Yeah.
and in Aspen you could stop, on the mountain there were like great pubs, and you could get shit faced if you wanted to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I had the same. I learned to ski in Les Trois Vallées in between France, Switzerland, and Italy. You can sort of hit all three countries in a day
mm,
without leaving the slopes. It's amazing.
mm, yeah. So, so you grew up in West Coast Washington State, at
Oh,
Snowy Spring. Yeah. So
nice.
yeah, there's some great skiing out there. And there's also great skiing in Utah.
Yeah.
There are some really nice places in the US. Yeah, but
Sure.
the Alps, man, come on, the Alps are awesome, aren't they?
I
Uh,
do love the Alps
yeah,
for the views,
yeah.
for the
Well,
tartiflette.
Europe is like paradise on earth. No, it is not. It depends who you are. But
We have our
fa-
own problems.
if you're a fairly white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, then it's all good. But it's full of social injustice and racism here as well,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um, but then again, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, have a great sleep. Build a great. Thank you for the follow. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone. We will be streaming again, and if you miss our live stream, we do have a YouTube channel called Nomads of Code. So please subscribe to that. You can check our recordings. We tend to talk a little too much and stream a little too long, um, but we have an ambition to make faster and better progress. But then again, if when you learn new stuff, things need to take time. Is that's a fair assertion, Max? Don't
Yeah.
you think? Yeah.
And just realized that the other terminal that I opened up, the reason I couldn't run the server was because I hadn't activated the virtual environment. But now I have, so just a little lesson there. I'm not used to working in virtual environments, but
Mm.
anyway, that was
All
the
right.
fix.
We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
See ya. See ya.